This is TWiT.
The Russian Communications Ministry has proposed in a statement that Apple and SAP give the Russian government access to their source code. Source code, of course, is a set of computer instructions that translate programs into machine-readable instructions for computers. That's to be sure that Apple's and SAP's products are not being used as tools for spying. The ministry says the proposal was designed to ensure the rights of consumers and corporate users to the privacy of their personal data, as well as for state security interests, and that, quote, Edward Snowden's revelations in 2013 and U.S. intelligence services public statements about the strengthening of surveillance of Russia in 2014 have raised a serious question of trust in foreign software and hardware. The ministry cited an over 10-year cooperation with Microsoft as an example of something that works. Microsoft has been sharing its source code for the Windows OS and other products since 2003 with Atlas, which is a technology institution that reports to the ministry. Both Apple and SAP have declined comment. Tor, which is a service used to mask the identity of an internet user, says that its network was breached, and it's likely the work of researchers at Carnegie Mellon University, the same researchers that had planned to demonstrate a Tor hack at the conference last week in Vegas, which had been canceled by lawyers for the university. The researchers couldn't be reached for comment, and the Carnegie Mellon lawyers previously said that the research project wasn't yet cleared for public release. Tor stands for the Onion Router. I actually learned that today, and is managed by a nonprofit in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It was originally developed to protect the communications of the U.S. Navy and is still partially funded by the U.S. government. Bloomberg is reporting that Snapchat is in talks with investors, including Alibaba Group, for a round of financing that could value the company at $10 billion. This is citing anonymous sources. However, if the funding goes through, Snapchat would join a pretty small group of startups that are valued in that 11-digit range. House-sharing app Airbnb is one, file-sharing service Dropbox is another, car-booking app Uber. So it's a small and illustrious group. Snapchat says that its users are now sending more than 700 million snaps per day, and more than 500 million stories are viewed daily. Potential financier Alibaba is China's biggest e-commerce company and is preparing to go public on the New York Stock Exchange this year, and it could be the biggest IPO in U.S. history. Interesting times we live in. Microsoft has announced it will start selling the Xbox One to consumers in China starting on September 23rd. Home consoles were previously banned in China after the release of the PlayStation 2. However, game consoles, foreign ones anyway, have been widely available in the country's gray market. Back in 2012, a Chinese motion sensor equipped with a home console called CT510 was released, but it actually claimed to be an exercise machine. So this is still a pretty big deal. The base console will retail for about equivalent of $599 US and will come with copies of Power Star Gold, Neverwinter Online pre-installed, along with free Xbox Gold, Live Gold memberships through March of 2015. 9to5Mac is reporting that ahead of Apple's acquisition of Beats Electronics and Beats Music, it's not completed yet, but expected to be at the end of this quarter, the two companies have already begun work on transitioning some employees and resources from Beats to Apple. Anonymous sources tell 9to5Mac that many Beats employees in development and creative roles have been offered positions at Apple, but employees working in support and finance and HR departments may no longer have jobs, with some workers actually already being laid off in the last few weeks. Apple has allegedly already begun work on transitioning the Beats music technology to its iTunes infrastructure. The Federal Communications Commission has sent Verizon Wireless a letter asking why it's made it a policy to throttle customers with unlimited data plans, like me. FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler, who authored the note, says, quote, I am deeply troubled by your July 25th, 2014 announcement that Verizon Wireless intends to slow down some customers' data speeds on your 4G LTE network starting in October of this year. And, quote, it is disturbing to me that Verizon Wireless would base its network management on distinctions among its customers' data plans rather on network architecture or technology. The FCC is currently weighing how to effectively regulate broadband speeds, wireless spectrum, peering and interconnection, and calls for enhanced net neutrality rules. In response, Verizon issued a statement claiming, quote, "The purpose is to ensure that there's capacity for everyone in those limited circumstances and that high users don't limit capacity for others."